Welcome back to JB Reviews. Today we're going to take a look at a 2021 Ram 2500. Now you guys can see this has a night edition package too, so it's been a while since I cracked the door open on a new Ram truck. I'm kind of getting an itch to get another one. And I love this Delmonico red. These black accents on this Delmonico is sick. Love it, love it, love it. So as you guys know, 2021, there's some differences on this truck. We're gonna do a quick walk around the interior and exterior. As I always do, I'm gonna show you the payload, and maybe I'll try to find some differences on this truck. Now the first thing we have to go over is under this hood. All right guys, so right there is where the CP4 fuel pump should be. Now there's supposed to be like a dimple on the top of it. I did some research before I came here today. I don't see that that's the case here. That looks like it could be a CP3. In the comment section, I'm not a huge gearhead like some of you guys are, but is that the new pump? I may, if I have a chance, I might find some keys to a 2020 and see if there's a difference, but I heard that for 2021 that Ram potentially is going to be going back to the CP3 because the CP4 sucks. Now, I don't know why Ram would choose the CP4 after they knew what the LML Duramax went through. Now it's like Ram decided to walk in a room where they knew someone farted and they still decided to go in the room. Like, why would you do that? But all in all, if that's the case, this is going to be a really good time to buy a Ram because this truck is still good for 850 pound-feet of torque, 370 horsepower, tons of power, tons of towing power too, and it does have a 6-speed transmission. Now hopefully within a year or two, I think Ram is going to go ahead and redesign this truck, and maybe we might get a brand new transmission. Alright, so as you can see, that is the CP4, because you can tell from this that little thing on top. So 2021s have the CP3, so that's a really good thing for us guys, especially if you're in the market for a Ram. The only negative thing about this 2021 2500 is the fact that you cannot get the high output. The reason why that's a big deal is they did not add any power for 2021 for this truck. For 2021, the high output, however, is going to have more horsepower and more torque. Now the only thing they did was just up the boost, and that's really it. So they didn't make any internal changes to the engine, they just upped the boost. I guess I understand when people say they prefer to have one diesel, that way you can have all the power for all the trucks. And I'm going to respond to some of you guys who said I was an idiot for saying that this truck is for light towing.
Really? Idiot? Idiot?
So to give you some background, I made a statement that the standard Cummins is best for light towing. Now let me explain what that meant. The high output Cummins has the Eisen transmission. I own this truck, of course, in single rear wheel, and the transmission is really unforgiving if you're not towing a trailer. That's why I said the standard Cummins with the 6.8 RP is better for people who don't plan on towing a lot, because this transmission is smoother, it rides better, it's not really harsh, you know, when it's not under load. And most guys who buy the 2500s, they tend to want to lift these trucks and put big wheels and tires on them anyway, so if you plan on doing light towing with this truck, this is a perfect truck to do it with, not with the high output Cummins. And another reason why I'm bringing this up is a lot of guys ask me, should I get the standard or the high output? And I ask them, are you planning on towing? They say no. So just so you know, you don't get 1,000 pound-feet of torque on this truck unless you're under load. So you're buying a high output for the power. You don't really feel that power unless you're towing a trailer, because I put my truck on the dyno and I only got 500 to 600 pound-feet of torque. And the reason why is because his dyno could not put my truck under load. So that's all I was getting out of that truck. So just keep these things in mind if you are in the market for a Cummins. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and get into this video. I'm going to show you guys the window sticker, and as I mentioned, we're going to go ahead and continue to walk around this truck, okay? So this is going to be a 2021 Ram 2500 Laramie Crew Cab full drive. Base price for this truck is $52,535. And as I mentioned, it is painted in that Delmonico red. Black interior is the only thing you can get with this night edition package, and I'll show it to you guys in a second. Now take a look at all of your standard equipment for this truck, all right? And just keep in mind, 373 axle is standard for the 6.4 gas, and it's the only axle ratio you can get for the Cummins. So really quickly guys, this truck has a lot of options, so we're gonna go through this pretty quickly. So Delmonico red paint is an extra add of $100. Bucket seats with a center console, it's $545. You do have a safety group, and this does have that digital rear view mirror. Lane keep assist and adaptive steering system was added for 2020. Cold weather group is 145. Engine block heater, winter front grille, fifth wheel prep package, and gooseneck. You also have an off-road package, which is going to give you the Bilstein shocks and then a transfer case skid plate. Night edition was $24.95. It's just going to black out the grille, and it's going to paint the bumpers, and it's going to paint the wheels black also. Laramie level 2 is $41.95. It's anti-spin differential in the rear axle, $445. 6.7 Cummins, $9,400. Clearance lamps, you have that stop lamp in the bed, LED bed lighting, power deployable running boards. One thing I'm going to just mention really quickly. This truck has a lot of options. You have to price this truck against a limited, because you'd be surprised how close you can get to a limited. Destination comes in at $16.95, the total price of $77,580. Now this does look pretty different too. It looks like they do the greenhouse gas rating and the smog rating too for this truck. And as you guys know, this truck's gonna have a 5-year, 100,000 mile powertrain warranty. Not much has changed on this truck as far as the appearance goes on the outside. You're gonna still have standard LED headlights with a LED accent light that's gonna act as your daytime running light. LED fog lights. Check out your parking sensors. Your tow hooks are black too. I think the Delmonico red does look the best with the accents. It looks really, really, really aggressive. Check out all your badges are also going to be blacked out. And as you guys saw, your wheels, which are 20s, wrapped in LT 285/60/20. And Ram is still using these Firestone tires. I mean, these tires are good if you're not towing, but once you start towing, these tires get eaten up really quickly. Now you guys can tell you do have your Bilstein shocks up front. This is going to have a solid front axle. And for 2019, I haven't mentioned this in a while, but you do have those holes that were added, and that was just kind of make this lightweight. This is going to be your radius arm on your suspension. And they do have your accent light on the mirror too. This does act as an accent light, and I believe it acts as a turn signal. Let's check it out. This does act like a turn signal, and it also acts as an accent light too. As you guys can see up top, you do have clearance lamps. Love the shark fin too. You guys will see that on the side when we get over there. But all of the trim around the windows are going to be blacked out too. Painted door handles, which comes standard on a Laramie anyways. This truck does have a 31-gallon fuel tank. Regular cab has 32 gallons, and you can get a 50-gallon with the long bed trucks, so just keep that in mind. And they did start putting a cap on these too, but it's just a plastic cap. I would keep this and keep it on there. I did buy one from Amazon for my truck, so I would recommend protecting this just as an FYI. And you do have a 4x4 off-road badge. I'm personally not a fan of all these stickers on trucks, but it actually doesn't look that bad. Now check out your taillights. You guys do see that you do have a black accent on the taillights. These are going to be LED taillights too, backup lights, turn signals, and just the running lights too. Black badges. You are going to have a class 5 receiving hitch. And then check out your parking sensors below. Now with this class 4, they do give you a 4-pin and a 7-pin. And if you pop this tailgate down, it's going to be assisted. And you can get a bed utility, which will give you a bed step here. This truck does not have that option, but you can see that you have your fifth wheel prep. If you get that fifth wheel prep, it will give you the 7-pin and now a 4-pin inside of the bed. And this looks to be something new for 2021 too. I don't remember seeing it on the 2020 models. As you guys saw, you have your LED lights for the bed, and you also have your fifth wheel prep package. This camera does look a little different. Let's go up there really quickly. Alright guys, so it looks like you have a camera here and right here now. And this has a different style to it too. So we'll check out the camera when we go inside, okay? This truck will look really good with a leveling kit. I've been debating whether I should level my truck. Now out back you do have a 5-link coiled suspension. You can get air suspension with this truck, and that would definitely help the ride also. And I'll show you guys later in the video, but these mirrors do flip up, and you do have a convex on both sides. You have your indicator right here for your blind spot. Truck does have smart key system, so you can lock the door and unlock it from here. And you can see that shark fin a lot better up here. All right, we're gonna go for a quick drive. So you guys see you do have your convex mirror there. You can actually adjust that from power. So I'm gonna click the button now so you guys can see it. Yeah, and then what you have to do next, I forgot to show you, you have to hit which side you want to do. So you guys can see it's adjusting now. And then just push the button again, and then you can just adjust the larger mirror there. I'm just gonna do the same thing for that side. Now, as you guys saw too, you do have a LED light right here. I'm gonna push the button. You can see that it comes on. And that's just really gonna help you with backing up. I've used it a couple times with my trailer. It does come in handy. And you have one on that side also. Alright, so I hope you guys can see everything here. So this 2500, a lot of people say that the reason why they buy half tons is that 2500s are still too rough. And this is definitely certainly a little bit more stiffer than what you're gonna find in a 1500 truck. That's just, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, it's just a fact. But if you are planning on towing a trailer, I promise you, you will thank me when you hook up for the first time. If you've never towed with a heavy duty truck, it is a night and day difference. I mean, this truck for the most part is really comfortable. It's very quiet. And if you add the air suspension on this truck, I feel that it does help soften the ride a lot more. Having the Bilstein shocks with this truck is amazing too. I think that these help really swallow up some of the imperfections in the road when you hit like a bump. It's not as harsh, I guess. That's really what I'm trying to say. But just overall control, I'm driving with one hand, but I mean, I just feel like this truck, it just handles so well. I don't know what it is about Ram trucks. The seats love to shake inside of a Ram. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's the tires. And if you get a more aggressive tire, it gets worse. So just keep that in mind. But these are the standard tires. When I go on the highway, I'll show you again. But the seat has like a little bit of a shimmy in it. But you can't feel it in the truck. You cannot feel it while you're driving. Now, as you guys saw in the one sticker, you do have the power deployable steps. You open the door, and they will come out. Interior is pretty much the same as I've seen in the past. The only difference I see is that that plug in the bed has a button right here. So you can click that on to get power to that plug. And like I said, everything else pretty much is the same here, but love this interior. You cannot hate on Ram. This truck has the best interiors. Only negative thing about the interior on the heavy duties, no telescoping steering wheel. But you can adjust the pedals, so it kind of makes up for it. And a lot of people have complained and said that the seats inside of the Ram heavy duties are not that comfortable. I disagree. I think the seats are pretty comfortable. The seating position is not as great as in what's in the half tons, but overall, still a nice truck. Let's go ahead and start this bad boy up. So I'm gonna put my foot on the brake. All Ram trucks have the push button start. And there you have it. Ram does give you a 7-inch display inside of here. A lot of different stuff. Boost pressure, diesel particulate filter. Love to see that nice and empty too. Oil life, fuel filters, battery voltage, exhaust brake. Oh, that's in a different spot actually too, by the way. This is actually further over, so they changed where some of the stuff is here. And then, I don't know why all this is showing in Celsius, but I guess you can probably change that through the system here. And then you have your idling. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at this. I'm gonna take the sticker off here, 1 second. This high definition mirror was added for 2021. And if you flip it up like this, you guys can see that you have a really clear view of what's back behind you. Now they have a few adjustments for it. You have brightness, so all you have to do is just use the arrows. I tried to slide it with my finger, but it makes sense that you can't touch this because you'd have a lot of smears on this. You can actually adjust it up and down. Really like that, really cool. And of course, if you don't need it, you can just turn it off. While we're up here, you do have a button here to lower that tailgate. You can turn your lights on and off inside the interior. And you do have like a SOS system. If you want to slide that back glass, you can do so. And as you guys did see, you have LED lights inside the interior. Now, as far as this goes, this is pretty much the same thing you've seen since 2019. The only exception is for 2020, they added your driving features like your lane keep assist here. Of course, you have your cautions and your traction control. All that's pretty much the same. And we won't spend too much time on the 12-inch display. One thing I want to show you guys for people who already own this truck, if you go here, sometimes a lot of us guys don't really use AM anymore. So if you want to slide your Sirius XM right down here, you can actually customize this however you like. And if you want, you can actually put it up top here and customize how you see things here too. Climate control can be controlled from the buttons on the side, or you can do it from the screen here. Now if you would like to have split screen, you could go to home up top, and then you can add your climate here, and if you like, you can add your navigation down here. So you just have to slide to the right and it'll pop up for you. Or if you want full screen navigation, which is really cool, you can do that too. Look how big that looks too. Love the way it looks. And all in all, I think this is the best system. I mean, there's so many ways you can customize this. Last thing I'll show you guys is you do have a trailering for this too. So you can have different trailers set up with this. You can set the braking like heavy electric, or they have hydraulic, or heavy electric over hydraulic. Different ways you can set up your trailer. You can name it, and you can really customize this. Like I have 2 trailers now, so this comes in really handy. I know of people having issues with the 12-inch display. I haven't had any issues with it. The only thing I don't like about it though is the fact that you cannot get to your heated seats unless you go through the screen. I wish that they would put buttons somewhere outside of the screen, because I prefer to be able to get there a little bit quicker versus having to, you know, find where to go. You can go through either through your controls, or you can go through climate too, because it has the controls right there. You can, however, you can check your camera systems. This does not have the 360 camera, so I will have to come back and do another video on that. But as you guys can see, you do have 2 camera views. You have the one for the tailgate, and then you have your high mount, which was optional. Just keep that in mind. I do, however, notice that you cannot zoom in anymore. Let me start it up again. Actually, why would they do that? They took away that feature. Let me see if okay. So back here you can. So on mine, maybe if you get the 360 cameras, they allow you to be able to zoom into the ball. But I'm in reverse right now, and I don't see a feature where you can zoom in for this one. But you can zoom in from the tailgate here. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys the lane keep assist. I'm going to take my hand off the steering wheel. Check this out. See it kind of turning the truck again? Be careful with this system, because sometimes it will give up if it's too far over. So if a car is coming like just now, you know, you have to be really careful with the system. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some acceleration. I'm going to switch cameras, that way I know you guys can see it. Alright, so we're going 30, hit it. Truck definitely has a lot of get up and go. The 68 RFE is very, very, very smooth also. And let's see something real quick. Let's see if it'll do it. Oh, there it is. Okay, it was a little bit more delayed, but this lane keep assist, I'm kind of glad my truck doesn't have it. I would always keep that system off. All you have to do to turn it off is click this button right here. A lot of people have been asking me, how do you adjust your deployable running boards? So there's 2 ways you can do it. As you guys probably saw in your controls, there's a way you can actually deploy the step or retract it again. But you can go to settings, and you go to safety and driving assistance, go to power steps, and you can store them that way. If you hit store, they will not drop down for you. But that's kind of a way you can do that if you don't want to have them come in and out all the time too. You do have your trailer brake listed right here. Diesel exhaust brake. And you have tow haul mode, front rear parking sensors. You have 4 USBs, Type A's, and then you have your smaller Type C's, auxiliary. Useless storage. I mean, I guess you could put a phone here, but they have a better spot down here for your phone. You do have a charging station right here, which was optional. Plug just below down here. Tons of space, cup holders, more space, coin holders. Huge center console. Storage up top with the USB. Storage below. And here's all your metrics and things like that if you're a math wizard or something. Passenger side does have power seats. It goes up and down the front, up and down in the rear. Of course, this adjusts, and you can adjust your lumbar support too. Storage inside the door. You do have a place here for maybe a big bottle or water. Decent sized glove box, and they give you additional storage above it. And it does have LED lights inside of here too, and storage on the side of the seat here. And just check out your stitching too. I didn't show it to you on the other side, but look at all the attention to detail inside this truck, guys. Really, really beautiful truck. As far as the rear seat goes, you still have that really nice design. And this is going to be a 60/40 bench. Now I'm going to pop this up. If you like to have a flat, solid floor surface, because you guys can see there's a hump, you can flip this out on both sides. If you have like a dog, you can put them right here. And like I said, it does create a solid surface too for you too. They also give you storage just below on this side. I'll show you guys the other side here in a second. And just below you can see you have storage. A lot of people will put ice in here and put some drinks for nice long trips. And these do come out also, so you can clean them out. If you would like to, you can secure this in place. That way you don't get any vibrations in here if nobody's sitting back here. And when the seat's down, it does give you light on the floor down there too. Here's the passenger side, as I mentioned, 60/40 bench. And this side is going to have the subwoofer, which is for Harman Kardon. So you don't have any storage, but like as I mentioned, you can fold this out to make it a flat floor surface too. And storage on the floor here. They do give you spec here for AC, heated seats. You still have 4 USBs, Type A, Type C's, and you have an additional power plug. They give you so much stuff inside this truck to keep your kids happy. Their technology will never die unless they leave their charging cords at home. All right, guys, so I'm at 70 miles an hour. I don't know if you guys see, the seat is definitely shaking. Come on, Ram. Truck only has 40 miles on it, so I think you guys should fix that. I mean, it's been apparent in my 2019, but like I said, you can't feel it inside the truck. It's just in that seat that you see it shaking. My wife says when she sits in the truck, she doesn't feel it shaking either, but it's just like a little bit of a shimmy. It could be the tires, it could just be the stiffer suspension, but it's not terrible. I'm gonna hit the brakes really quickly. Yeah, brakes feel nice and tight. Oh man, they actually feel like my truck. My truck has 17,000 miles on it now. They feel the same. It has the same amount of bite. You don't have to go all the way down to the floor. Exhaust brake. Transmission is very, very, very smooth. Like, it almost feels like it has a 10-speed in here because you don't feel it shift. I almost have to like look for it. And just in case you guys are interested in seeing this camera, hopefully you guys can see it. Yeah, this camera is really cool. I love that. It's a really nice feature to have. Taking a look at the numbers, you do have a gross axle weight rating up front at 6,000 pounds. Gross axle weight rating in the rear is going to be 6,040. GVWR, which is gross vehicle weight rating, is going to be 10,000 pounds still. All them payload capacities at 2,023 pounds. In case you were wondering, a Laramie with a 6'4" bed crew cab is going to have 2,050, which is advertised online. 15,740 pounds is the towing capacity. Now I find it kind of weird that the long bed does have more payload now, And of course, towing capacity is going to be slightly higher because of the longer wheelbase. But hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Since you stayed to the end, here's with the mirrors up. One last thing. You see how it's in Celsius? All you have to do is go to units, US metric. You're welcome.